Every single day, someone of prominence on the left, a politician, a cable news host, an entertainment figure, accuses someone on the right of being a racist.
PragerU is a far-right propaganda machine funded by oil billionaires. Their number one priority seems to be convincing the world that life sucks for you, but that's okay because something individualism, and maybe rich people will feel like being nice eventually.
I'm dying. Help me.
But enough about that. Today we're just gonna point and laugh at one of their most pathetic attempts to shove an alien parasite into your brain.
Statues of great historical figures, like Robert E. Lee, are being torn down across America. Here are some facts about Lee that remind us why his statue should remain.
Now, a great tactic for arguments like this is to use your best two cases at the beginning and the end of your, spiel. So with that in mind, let's see how PragerU decided to kick off this fascinating subject.
Robert E. Lee was connected to George Washington through his father, Light Horse Harry Lee, Washington's cavalry commander, and his wife, Martha Washington's great-granddaughter.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing.
After 30 years of military service, Lee led U.S. Marines to crush the attempted slave rebellion by radical abolitionist John Brown in October 1859.
Okay, let me get this straight. People who were enslaved and brutalized tried to escape that fate. This dude murdered them, and I'm supposed to come away from this thinking he's the hero? No.
Lee deemed slavery a moral and political evil in any country, but considered it a greater evil to the white man than to the black race, since blacks are immeasurably better off here than in Africa.
This video is really good at making me hate Robert E. Lee. Believe it or not, white people weren't the group most affected by slavery, a truly shocking revelation.
Opposing secession, Lee foresaw no greater calamity for the country than a dissolution of the Union. But when Virginia seceded in a close vote, Lee resigned his commission. Despite offers to command Union forces, Lee opted to organize the defense of his native state.
Now, I know this whole secession thing will be a catastrophe for everyone, but I gotta do what's right and lay down my life for the sake of slavery. Wait, what?
After 4 years as Confederate commander, Lee became an icon of reconciliation upon his surrender. As president of Virginia's Washington College, he favored education for freed slaves but opposed their right to vote.
You guys are terrible at picking out positives.
Ow!
To be fair, there's not a lot to pull from, but you had to go for he opposed equal rights. Cool. Hey, remember that useful tactic we talked about at the beginning? Cases at the beginning and the end of your, spiel. Let's see what PragerU think the best argument to leave their video off on is.
Lee died from a stroke in 1870.
F***ing died. Like a cuck.
So in conclusion,
the reason why I'm here is because of this statue behind me. This statue has brought a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of oppression, and people want to see it down. And you have certain Confederacy people, certain Klan people, certain Southern people who don't want to see it down. They want to keep it up to remind us of the oppression, to keep us in the system. And we're not having that. We're not having that.
A lot of people say this is vandalism. I say it's art. That statue represents slavery. And even when slavery ended, we celebrated Juneteenth yesterday night. Even when slavery ended, they still locked up black men for stealing an apple or he say, she say, and then they were in prison for the rest of their lives. Slavery never ended, and that's why we're here. It needs to end.
That's always the argument that's made. And the whole thing about it's our history, everything is our history. Them putting it up as our history, us taking it down is our history. That is our history.
That's part of history too.
Everything we do is a part of our history.
Right.
There are things you did that you will not do again. You can't eradicate it from your life, but you damn sure don't have to celebrate it. And what he did was not worthy of celebration.
She quick as